Hi guys, and welcome to our usual coverage from the Gulf News World Cup T20. It's another amazing day. I mean, I don't know how we can even get our heads around this one today. First of all, I'll say hello to Anis and to Gautam who are joining us today. I'm not quite sure where we start. I think that we start with, we now know the top four. We know our semi-finalists, Anis.
Thank you, Matt. Hello, Mr. Gautam, and hello to all the beautiful people of Gulf News. Today were the last two matches of the Super 12 from Group 2, where first New Zealand quite easily beat Afghanistan. And then in the second game, Pakistan outclassed Scotland. So both of them have made it to the semi-finals. So we have our semi-finals lineup. On Wednesday, we see England take on, England will take, whom are they playing? I forgot the fourth team.
New Zealand.
New Zealand. England will take on New Zealand in Abu Dhabi. And on Thursday, it's going to be Pakistan versus Australia and Dubai. So quite mouth-watering semi-finals lined up. And I'll now give it to Gautam.
Yeah, so I mean, I think New Zealand have been the ones that have upset the cards here. What do you think?
No, to be very honest, no. We always, talk about New Zealand as the silent people who don't make noise. They have been doing the job quietly always whenever it comes to ICC tournament. If you talk about the 2015 World Cup, they made it to the finals. 2019, they lost a super over. Then we're talking about the ICC Test World Championship. They made it to the finals. They won it. Fair justice was done to them. And this year, again, let's be very honest, I hadn't given them an opportunity. I thought they will come, they will play. But quietly, they have done about their job. They lost their first game to Pakistan. But the way they have come back after beating India comprehensively, of course, they beat Scotland and Namibia. But today, again, they were against Afghanistan. And the way they clinically beat Afghanistan broke hearts not only of 1.2 billion people, but credit to New Zealand, they deserve to be in the semi-finals.
Yeah. Now, Gautam, from you think about if you look at the greats of the the Australia team, even if it's Steve Smith or David Warner, going right all the way through the team to the Hazelwoods. And then you look at the Pakistan team, which is Shahzad and everyone all the way through. Kane Williamson has got to be up there, surely, as one of the greats.
Sorry, whom are you talking about?
Williamson.
Kane Williamson.
Yes. See, the thing is, I mean, it's not exactly today. At least last 6 to 7 years, whenever we have discussed as to who's the greatest batsman of them all, the 3-4 guys who regularly figured in there, Kane was definitely one of them. I mean, it could be because of his, unfussy nature and because of the understated nature of the Kiwis in general. Sometimes he may have got a bit under the radar, but not anymore. I mean, they are now always hovering there. And, the 4 best teams have made the semi-finals. I'll have to say that. It'll be a pity that only 2 teams will make the final from there.
That must have been ouchy to say, considering that one of those 4 teams is not India. But okay, we'll get to that in a minute. What I'm saying is, do we now regard these 4 teams as the best 4 teams in T20 cricket?
See, England were the number 1 ranked team, so they were always there with that golden generation of 5 to 6 people. India's performance has definitely come up as a bit of disappointment, but as you said that you will talk about them later. Yes, there will be disappointment, but it's also true that this 1.2 billion people, Indian fans were hoping against hope. Even Anis will agree that. So that didn't happen. Yeah, that didn't happen.
So now do we say that if we look at the let's look at the head-to-heads now, right? So we've got and let me get this right. New Zealand against England and Australia against Pakistan. Is that correct?
Yep.
Right. So where do we go from here? Who do we fancy? in terms of who's reaching the final?
Well, to be very honest, on form, you have to back England. But let's, as I've always said, New Zealand is one team which surprises everybody. And with the loss of Jason Roy, I think they are on equal terms. And if you talk about quality spinners, if they have Rashid and Moeen Ali, they have Sodi as well as Santner, even though it didn't have a good game today. But in Abu Dhabi, I'm not sure how much of a role spinners play. It's the fast bowlers which play a role. And if you have to talk about fast bowlers, for sure, Bolt, Saudi, and Kyle Mills, not what is it name? Adam Mills.
Milne.
Yeah. These three guys are definitely, I'm not trying to compare, but I will say that they are on top when you compare with the English fast bowlers.
Okay, and then Gautam, if you look at the other one, Pakistan versus where am I?
Australia.
Yes, Australia. Does it all depend on things like how Adam Zampa performs as a bowler, or does it all come down to the batting?
See, this is another very intriguing clash, and these two teams have had a very, very healthy rivalry down the years. Only thing is that match is being played in Dubai, where a lot is being made out of the due factor for the team who's chasing. So I only hope that on form, I'll have to keep Pakistan because nobody has won 5 out of 5. But the only thing is we'll have to see that the toss doesn't really give an undue advantage to the team batting second. I mean, that's what I would like to see, since both these matches are evening games and semi-finals.
So they're both in the balance.
Absolutely.
Okay, and now let's have a little discussion, if we can, if it's not too painful for both of you. India, where do we go from here?
Well, honestly, Matt, when the tournament started, we were supposed to be the favorites. We came as favorites coming after a good IPL tournament. We thought it's going to help them. But I'm afraid the way we were outclassed by Pakistan and then further outclassed by New Zealand, that 2 games left too much for India to come back into the tournament, because the other 3 matches were the lower teams, like due respect to Scotland, Namibia, and Afghanistan. So India had to do that catch-up game. And it showed in the last that we were at the mercy of Afghanistan. And when India couldn't score more than 111, today New Zealand showed how to beat Afghanistan by bouncing them out. And if you saw the way so beautifully captained by Williamson, made sure that all his fast bowlers, only his spinners went for runs, but only spinners bowled 4 overs.
So what I mean is, just to clarify my question, is to say, what does India do here to make sure that this doesn't happen again, and how do they get to the next level?
Well, like T20, you see there are 5 games, and out of which 5 games, 3 teams are good. So what you need to make sure that you do not have 2 bad games or 2 back-to-back days. India had to play Pakistan as well as New Zealand. Okay, the other team also had to play. India did not play to its potential. I don't want to give any excuses about bubble fatigue or too much of cricket or the toss. Let's give it to the opposition that they were better on that particular day. And the way India lost, it's not that the games were close or the toss, of course, did play a little role, but India were outclassed in both the games. So you have to give it to the opposition, whether it is Pakistan or New Zealand. They outbeat us. And when they won the other matches against other teams, they were equally comprehensive as India were against Scotland and Namibia. So India were not unlucky. The better teams went into the knockout.
Okay, that's very fair. That's very honest of you. Thank you. Gautam, just to wrap up, just before we get to the end of the chat here. Do you agree with that? Do you think that India were just outclassed on their day, or do you think that maybe they got a little bit unlucky?
No, you can't say unlucky. I mean, I totally agree with Anis's observation. 2 bad games up front, then they were left playing catch up. And, though they won against relatively, Afghanistan, I won't call a weaker team, that literally hammered them. But by the time, you see, finally they're left with 4 points on the table. It's a kind of unbelievable situation, like if you are in India's position. But then they got to move on from here. And just one word of commiseration with Virat Kohli. This was his last international assignment as a T20 captain. But then you don't win everything. That's it.
Of course. No, we talked about these things before, but I mean, like we're seeing absolute three colossal people in Virat, Chris Gayle, and Dwayne Bravo all signing off this week. It's like a next generation moment, surely, for where we're going with the sport.
No, see, the thing is, I mean, given Virat, you can expect, another 5 years of test cricket and cricket per se is left in him. But it is just that, when you get used to, kind of a cult system, which is very prevalent in India. I mean, now India are heading for a split captaincy for the first time, but that I think is a discussion for another day. Then gradually get used to this, norm that Virat is the captain for tests, somebody else is captain for the white ball cricket, like that. So in another month or so, we may just get used to that system.
Yeah, and like I say, I think that I think we're on the threshold of something very different, and whether it's 50, 20, or even Test cricket, I think that there's something is changing just now. But we're out of time, guys, so we're going to have to say thank you so much to Anis and thank you so much to Gautam. And guys, everything that you need to know is always at golfnews.com, whether it's analyses, whether it's live updates, or whether it's pitch gathers, whatever you want, it's all there. So thank you so much to Anis and thank you so much to Gautam, and we shall see you all again tomorrow.